Hello, my name is Mark Prather, broker of Mark One Real Estate and Mortgage. Thank you for sharing a few moments in reviewing our Roadmap to Wealth program. The purpose of our Roadmap to Wealth program is to show a consumer a step-by-step process of how to accumulate wealth and creating financial security through real estate. The first step is, let's talk about defining financial independence. Financial independence is to accumulate enough income-generating assets where you can comfortably live off those assets. It means that you don't have to work if you don't want to. When someone mentions financial investment strategies, very often people only think of the stock market, money market, mutual funds, and their bank savings account. What they're unaware of is how superior the rate of return is on real estate to these other investments. While we believe it is critical to have a diversified investment portfolio, real estate needs to be a part of that diversification in order for you to receive the maximum return and security for your investments. When you're looking at financial investment strategies, the reason that this is the case, that most people are not aware of real estate, is very often where we start is with a financial planner or an investment banker. And financial planners, while they're very expert at what they do, is the products that they typically sell are investments in stocks and bonds and mutual funds, and so they're not experts in the real estate industry, so very often the real estate industry is overlooked as a viable option. Our program will show you the incredible returns and security that you can have through real estate. The key to real estate investment is to use the three most powerful tools used by great financial wizards. These keys are the power of compounding, the power of leverage, and the power of staying the course. Now let's review each one of these. The power of compounding. The power of compounding manifests when your investment is multiplied by earning additional dollars on top of the previous dividends paid. Compounding makes more people wealthy faster than any other strategy. There are two important factors to compounding. The first is time, which means getting started early, and the second is the rate of return. The higher the rate of return, the faster your money will grow. You're probably very familiar with compounding. You'll see compounding with virtually every investment. Now, the power of compounding, we have an illustration that I'd like to share with you. Here's an example of a person here, your friend, starting at 24 years old, is investing $12,000 a year. Now, he continues doing this annually through the age of 33. And at the end, over the next 30 years, at 65, he has over $1 million accumulated through the power of compounding, and this is at a 6% rate of return. The next example is showing a person at 24 not investing any money from 24 to 33, and then they start investing at 34. And then from 34 to 65, they invest the $12,000 a year. So you compare one person that's invested for 10 years, the other one has invested for 30 years. And yet both end up at about the same amount, a little over $1 million invested. What this illustrates is how critical time is in getting started early. It's more critical than even the amount that's invested over the long term. So getting started early is key. The undeniable power of leverage. Common misconception. My home is the best investment I ever made. If you bought your home in 2000 for $200,000, which was the median price for a home in Los Angeles, and sold it in June of 2014 for $486,000, which was the median price at that time, that's a gain of 143%. During the same period, the Dow Jones grew from 11,700 to 17,500. That's a gain of 50%. But here's the reality. It is the financing of your home that was the best investment decision you ever made. In 2000, you put down $20,000 for the purchase of a $200,000 house. This $20,000 cash investment produced a profit of $286,000, or a total return of 1,430%. As you can see, 1,430% is a far greater return than 50% earned by the stock market. Now, the power of time and staying the course. Many consumer shopping habits are driven by short-term gratification. This is a huge mistake with investing. The biggest mistake the typical consumer makes is by not staying the course of the plan. They instead buy a house, then in 5 to 7 years later, they sell the property and buy a larger property with a larger mortgage. Two bad things happen with this strategy. The compounding that began 5 to 7 years earlier stops, and now the consumer has to start all over again. And secondly, the consumer is now in more debt than when they started. All right, our next chart here shows our historical price appreciation. In California, from 1968 through 2012, over a 44-year sampling, the median price for a home in California in 1968 was $23,210. On a national level, it was $20,100. Over that 44-year period, you can see California's average appreciation rate is 6.9%. Nationwide, it's 5%. Now on this slide we show an Excel analysis where a first-time buyer purchasing a home for $450,000 with 3.5% down, so it's FHA loan, $15,750 down payment with their closing costs. So their total investment is $24,944, or roughly $25,000. Holding that property for a 15-year period using the 6.9 44-year historical average and appreciation rate, that in 15 years the property will be worth $934,000. Now when you look at that, that's an incredible return of 272% rate of return over that 15-year period. You divide that out and that equals an annual rate of return of 272%. This is through using the power of compounding and the power of leverage and the power of staying the course. How to become a savvy real estate investor? That's where we come in. Our goal is to be your real estate investment advisor. Our role is to help our clients to develop and execute a long-term financial and investment plan to achieve financial independence. We help our clients successfully manage their real estate portfolio to increase balance, which means basically diversification in your investments, safety, making quality investments safe investments to minimize risk, rate of return, make sure you get a good rate of return so you can realize your financial goals, and tax deductions. The real estate asset class realizes many tax benefits that other investments don't have. They have tax preferred status. I hope you enjoyed the presentation. We appreciate your time. Thank you very much.